The Balmoral Hotel. This iconic building with a distinctive clock tower is a luxury hotel located at Prince's Street, a major shopping street and transport hub in the heart of Edinburgh. Edinburgh Castle, situated on Castle Rock, a volcanic plug. Edinburgh Castle is a historic fortress dominating the skyline of Edinburgh. It has served various roles throughout its history, including a royal residence, military garrison, prison, and fortress, and is now a world-famous visitor attraction. Surrounding area. The area around these landmarks is part of the old and new towns of Edinburgh World. Heritage Site. It is a vibrant city center with a mix of historical architecture, shops, and public spaces, including Prince's Street Gardens. A journey through Holyrood Park, Edinburgh's wild heart. Introduction. Stepping into a living landscape. There are places in the world where history, myth, and raw natural beauty seem to braid together, so tightly that you cannot separate one from the other. Holyrood Park in Edinburgh is one of them. Stand at its edges, and you're just a stone's throw from the busy cobbled streets of the Royal Mile, where bagpipes play for visitors and cafes bustle with chatter. Walk just a few steps deeper into the park, though, and suddenly the sound of the city fades, replaced by birdsong, rustling grass, and the wind rushing across open hills, covering more than 650 acres. Holyrood Park is more than just a green space. It is a place of pilgrimage for walkers, poets, locals on a Sunday stroll, tourists chasing panoramic views, and historians piecing together fragments of Scotland's medieval past. Dominated by the extinct volcano known as Arthur's Seat, the park is a landscape shaped by fire, ice, time, and human stories. To visit Holyrood Park is not just to see nature, it is to walk through a living book, where every path leads you to another page of Edinburgh's story. Chapter 1, a park born of fire and time. Long before kings, queens, or poets walked here, Holyrood Park was a volcanic landscape. Around 350 million years ago, violent eruptions shaped the rugged crags and steep cliffs. Arthur's Seat itself is the main peak of this extinct volcano, rising 251 meters, 823 feet above sea level. A natural fortress that has watched over the land since prehistory, when glaciers carved through Scotland during the Ice Ages. They smoothed some slopes and left jagged edges on others. The result is a landscape that feels both wild and strangely sculpted, as if the Earth itself wanted to create a natural amphitheater for history. But geology is only one layer of the story. Humans have lived around these hills for thousands of years. Archaeologists have discovered traces of Iron Age hill fronts, burial cairns, and farming terraces. Imagine small communities of ancient, people climbing the same slopes. You climb today, except instead of hiking boots, they wore leather sandals, and instead of smartphones in their hands, they carried spears or baskets of grain. Chapter 2, Royal Ground, Sacred Place. The name Holyrood itself ties the park to Scotland's royal and religious past. Rood is an old word for cross, and the story goes that King David I, in the 12th century, founded the nearby Holyrood Abbey after a miraculous vision. Legend says he was out hunting in the park when a stag charged him. Just before impact, a shining cross appeared between the stag's antlers, saving his life. In gratitude, he built an abbey, which grew into a royal palace, and the park became a royal hunting ground. For centuries afterward, Scottish monarchs rode their horses here, chasing deer across the hillsides. Even today, the park is officially part of the royal estate, managed by Historic Environment Scotland. To walk in Holyrood Park is to tread where kings and queens once galloped, where royal hunts echoed, and where sacred legends were born. Chapter 3, Entering the Park, First Impressions. If you begin your journey from the gates near Holyrood Palace, the transformation is immediate. One moment you're standing in front of the palace's stone facade, where guards keep watching tourists snap photographs. The next, you step into wide open space. Ahead, Salisbury crags rise like a fortress wall, their sheer cliff faces golden in the sunlight. To your right, Arthur's Seat looms, its slopes dotted with green grass and patches of gorse. Arthur's Seat, the name itself sparks imagination. Some believe it's linked to King Arthur, the legendary British leader, though historians debate the connection. Whether truth or myth, The name gives the peak a heroic aura. The climb is not long, but it can be steep. There are several routes. The Radical Road, a scenic path beneath Salisbury Crags. The Queen's Drive, circling the park's lower slopes. A direct route, steeper but faster, favored by those chasing the sunrise. As you climb, the air sharpens. The smell of grass and earth mixes with the faint salt tang of a Firth of Forth in the distance. Your boots crunch on gravel. Your breath grows quicker, but each pause offers a reward. Turn back, and Edinburgh spreads below its castle perched on another volcanic rock. The old town's narrow streets winding like a maze. Beyond, the sea glitters, and on a clear day you can see all the way to the hills of Fife. At the summit, wind whips around you. People gather, some silently taking in the view, others posing for photos, couples holding hands against the gusts. There's a feeling of triumph, not because the climb was difficult, but because the reward is so immense. To stand on Arthur's Seat is to feel like you've stepped into Edinburgh's crown, with the entire city laid out like a map at your feet. Chapter 5, Salisbury Crags and the Radical Road. While Arthur's Seat gets the fame, the Salisbury Crags offer their own drama. These sheer cliffs are beloved by geologists. It was here that James Hutton, in the 18th century, studied rock formations and developed his revolutionary theory of deep, geological time. In a sense, modern geology was born on these slopes. For walkers, the Radical Road is a favorite. Built in the 1820s by unemployed weavers nicknamed radicals, the path hugs the base of the cliffs, offering breathtaking views without the steep climb. Walking it, you feel the texture of the crags above, rugged and ancient, while the city stretches out below. Chapter 6, Hidden Corners and Locks. Holyrood Park is not just about peaks and cliffs. Tucked within its folds are locks, small lakes that mirror the sky. St. Margaret's Loch, near the palace, often hosts swans gliding across the water, while children throw crumbs from the shore. Duddingston Loch, larger and wilder, lies near the charming village of Duddingston. This loch is a nature reserve, home to herons, ducks, and countless other birds. On quiet mornings, mist hovers above its surface, making it look like something from a painting. Then there are ruins. St. Anthony's Chapel, perched on a hillside, is a medieval shell overlooking the city. Its origins are mysterious. Perhaps it served as an hermitage, or chapel for travelers. Standing there, with only the stone walls remaining, you feel history's silence pressing in, as if the voices of monks and pilgrims still linger in the wind. Chapter 7, Culture, Legends, and Inspiration. Holyrood Park has long inspired artists, poets, and storytellers. Sir Walter Scott, Robert Louis Stevenson, and countless painters have found muses in its landscapes. Stevenson, who grew up in Edinburgh, described Arthur's Seat as a hill for magnitude, a mountain in virtue of its bold design. Legends abound too. Some say Arthur's Seat was once a site of druidic rituals. Others whisper about hidden treasure beneath the hills. In 1836, schoolboys discovered tiny coffins hidden in a cave on the slopes, each with a small carved figure inside. Theories about their origin range from witchcraft too. Memorials for the victims of Edinburgh's infamous body snatchers, Burke and Hare. Whether myth or history, the park feels alive with stories. Every stone seems to hold a secret. Chapter 8, Visiting as a Traveler. For today's visitors, Holyrood Park offers something for everyone. Casual walkers can enjoy gentle paths around the locks,